Welcome to the Empowerment Lab, where we help high achievers build their empowerment muscle and strut into their purpose like a boss. I'm your host, Montrece Ransom, a coach, speaker, and founder of the Empowerment Tour Coaching and Consulting Group. We believe that wherever you aspire to be, you belong. So if you're ready to stop thinking small and unleash your full potential, then let's get started. Have you discovered your true calling yet? Yeah, your calling, the reason you're alive, your personal mission in life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a quick pop quiz. Question number 1, are you doing precisely the kind of work that makes you want to jump out of bed every morning, excited to begin a new day? Question 2, does your work fulfill a deep need inside you to express yourself and your talents and your values and your unique and precious gifts? Question 3, does your work allow a balanced life, one that leaves you time for your family and friends and physical activity and hobbies, and for you, for taking care of you? Question 4, are you doing what you love? If you answered yes to all of these questions, congratulations, my friend. There's a good chance that you've achieved what the Buddhists call right livelihood. But if you haven't yet found the work that you're meant to do, that you're called to do, pay attention. This episode of the Empowerment Lab is for you. In this episode, I'm going to offer you some hints and tips on how to find your true calling. And I'm telling you from experience that when you find that calling that is uniquely yours, your life will be transformed. You know, the stress and uncertainty of living in the era of COVID-19 has led many of my clients and many of my friends, many of who have built what many would call successful careers in law and public health and healthcare. They've all really started to ask themselves big questions about their purpose, their calling, and exactly what they want to get out of their lives and careers. The answer for a lot of them has been a career or job transition, or opening a coaching or consulting practice, or starting their own law firms, or starting a podcast, opening a storefront or a salon. Some folks have just simply quit their jobs with a determination to figure out their next steps along the way. I mean, so many people are looking at this time as a time to reinvent themselves. And while this is not exactly exciting for many employers, I read that almost half of small business owners surveyed said that they had job openings that they couldn't fill. It's not as exciting for them, but I do think that this is very exciting news for us, for the world, because many of us, by choice or by force, are being placed on our paths. We're being given an opportunity to move away from conventional thinking and social constructs and that programming about who we are and what our lives and careers should look like. We're being given an opportunity to create a life definition that works for us. Maybe you think it's too late. Maybe you think that you've somehow missed your calling and that you're not getting any younger. Well, I call bullshit. The reframe to that line of thinking is that your life's experiences have given you gifts and an education, and you don't have any more time to waste. When you discover your true calling, you'll find that your life will start taking you in unexpected directions. Unexpected opportunities will flow to you. Anybody can get a job. Anybody can get a 9-to-5. I mean, call one of those small business owners who's looking to hire somebody. A job is something that simply pays the bills. It may feed us and make sure we've got food in our bellies. But far too often, we accept and stay in jobs that fail to feed our spirits. When your spirit is starved for meaningful, satisfying work, your happiness suffers. Yes, I can hear you saying, yes, Montrese, it can't always be cookies and candy at work. Absolutely not. Sure, there will be bad days, but there is no definition of true success where we're left consistently unhappy. Did you know that individuals who love what they do for a living actually live longer? So here's your $1,000,000 question. Do you believe, as I do, that you were put here on this planet at this moment in time to follow a calling that is uniquely yours? If the idea of actually loving what you do every day appeals to you, if you believe that you were placed here to live out your calling, then the way I see it is you've only got two options. One, you can keep plodding along day after day, week after week, hoping that inspiration will somehow, some way suddenly show up and strike, and in a flash, your true calling will be revealed. Or two, you can make a promise to yourself, to your future self, right here, right now, to take the first bold step on behalf of your calling, on behalf of your dreams and desires. And if you ever feel confused and pulled in so many different directions at one time that you can't figure out what your calling might be, what you're interested in, or how it could all possibly fit together, I want you to know you're not alone. And the great news is it does all fit together because you fit together. Your experiences, your education, your background, your struggles, your challenges, your strengths, your so-called flaws. You wouldn't be the you that you are without all the fabulous, unique, messy parts that come together into the delightfully complete human being that you are. See, I believe you were designed this way. You have a purpose and a plan, and your soul signed up for all the challenges and the opportunities you're experiencing. You manifested them. But it can feel pretty confusing and even frustrating until you finally get some clarity around what that plan really is. So I want to help. In this episode, I'm going to offer 9 quick tips to help you find your true calling, to help you better understand your soul's master plan. Number 1, pay close attention to your deepest, most secret, most inner longings. They are the voice of your soul, calling you to the exact right place where you belong. It's our limiting beliefs that prevent us from getting there. Do you dream of being on stage, writing a best-selling novel? Maybe you want to produce a film, write a screenplay. Maybe you want to change the way people think about their spirituality. Pay attention to these. If you hear it and feel it, but you aren't taking action on it, you might be fooling us, those of us around you, but you're not fooling yourself. You're out of alignment and your soul knows what it knows. You wouldn't be called and have these desires on your heart if you didn't have it in you to do it. If you're called to it, it's part of your purpose. Tip number 2, I want you to start tracking your challenges and struggles. I know we don't want to do that. We don't even really want to think about our challenges and struggles in many ways, but the goal here is to unravel the common threads. Your challenges are your instructors. They show you the places where you need to heal and grow. If they're past challenges that you've overcome, they show you the places where you've healed and where you've grown. And as you overcome these challenges, you discover more about who you're meant to be. And these are clues that tell you what you need to work on, what you're here to teach or coach other people or consult with other people about. And maybe even what you've chosen to master in this lifetime. Tip number 3, build your relationship with your creator. This is how you find your higher self. When you pay attention to those yearnings and those longings, also ask your creator for guidance to guide your steps. If you meditate, In your practice, you want to focus on what your highest self is telling you. She embodies who you are, even if you do not yet consciously grasp the enormity of your capacity and your brilliance. By strengthening that relationship with your creator and with your higher self, you strengthen that brilliance inside you, and you call your calling to you. Tip number 4, journal, 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 journal. And you can start with just making a list of what is most important to you, what's most significant to you, your values. But even more than that, is your family most significant to you? Is it your religious faith? Is it your spirituality? Your financial security? If you work in public health or public health law or policy, is it health equity? Is it advancing data science? Is it legal epidemiology? Is it improving health literacy? Ask yourself what you want to be remembered for and journal on that. The things that are significant to you, those are your true priorities, and they should guide and direct your search for your true calling. Tip number 5, keep journaling and write a list of what you enjoy doing, what you find joy in doing. And then make a list of the things that you do well. And then look for the overlaps. Your true calling fits in those concentric circles. What you enjoy doing and what you do well. And even beyond that, what you're willing to learn to do well. Tip number 6, ask other people, people who know you well, what they think you might be best suited at doing it, what they think your calling might be. But filter it. Don't take their advice as the final say-so. Consider any external input to the process of discovering your true calling. Consider that input very carefully. It's your calling, not a conference call. Tip 7, take a personality assessment or career aptitude test. See what the results are and see how those results align with where you feel yourself being called. My 2 favorites that I use in one-on-one coaching sessions and even in my group coaching session and the Your Career Own Collective are Motivational DNA and 16 Personalities. Tip number 8, consider multiple chances for finding and living out your true calling. For some of you, it might be a job. It might be a 9-to-5. For other people, it might be volunteer service, or it might be a full-time entrepreneurial venture. And for others, it might be a satisfying side hustle. And others find their true calling in their responsibilities to their families or in caring for their animals. And finally, tip 9, don't be afraid to try something new. Finding your true calling involves trial and error. Take a chance and launch into something that you suspect might be your true calling. Why not? Trust your gut. Follow your curiosity. Take inspired action. And if living in the era of the COVID-19 pandemic has you thinking about who you really are and what you want out of your life and career, I want you to consider joining us in the Your Career Own Collective. It's the ultimate coaching membership for growing your mindset, your career, growing your voice, and your bank account. From the perfect pivot to personal branding, to life design principles. In the collective, we cover it all. Because we know you can't wait for someone to magically create the life, career, or business that aligns with your true calling. You must do that. You must own it. And as I close, I want to remind you that this process of discovering your true calling can take time. It's going to take effort and investment in yourself. And it might even take risk, calculated risk, but you're absolutely worth it. And although it's not necessarily easy, my hope is that these 9 quick tips can make achieving this goal, identifying your true calling, more accessible. Consider these 9 tips as seeds that I've planted in you that can help guide you to who you're really called to be at the core. Choose the one or two that resonate with who you are. Water them, cultivate them, and make space for your true calling to blossom. And remember, as always, anywhere you are called or aspire to be, you belong. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you'd like to build your own coaching practice, check out theempowermentor.com. You'll learn all the details about my Strut into Coaching Academy, a hands-on program to help you build a thriving coaching or consulting practice in just 90 days. In the meantime, connect with me on Instagram at Montrece Speaks or at montresespeaks.com. Stop thinking small, unleash your full potential, and strut into your purpose like a boss.